Ja, men välkomna hörni till lite mer reaktionsvirus. Idag ska vi kolla på en riktigt intressant video som jag har sett för långt tillbaks. Såg den här videon, ville reagera på den. Idag blir det då alltså tillfälle att göra det. 6,5 miljoner views. Helt galen. Men innan vi hoppar in hörni, se till att följa kanalen. Hjälp mig till. Vi har 60 000 prenumeranter som nästa mål. Vi har ju nått nästan 51 000. Så fortsätt prenumerera. Jag vet att det är över 60%. Alltså 60%, mer än hälften av alla visningar per video som ni ser är folk som inte prenumererar. Och är du en av dem, jag hoppas inte att skippat inte, för då behöver inte jag säga det här, men är du en av dem, följ med gärna. Jag hade uppskattat det så in i bomben. Och så får jag gärna följa min huvudkanal också om du inte gör det. Där vi lägger upp FIFA såklart, och sen Instagram också. Hjälper till 30k. Det vi ska kolla på idag är 9 stycken galet intelligenta tjuvar. Helt sjukt. Jag såg den här förut och tänkte att shit, det där verkar galet. Jag vill ta och kolla på det där, och det är nu liksom. Men det är precis det vi ska göra. Brain Time heter den. Vi tar och kollar. 1,6 miljoner views. 60 000 likes, 2000 dislikes. Det är båda gott hörni, så nu tar vi det lugnt. En dricka har jag. Jag har vatten också. Där är den. Men drickan får det bli. Och jag hoppas att ni har något liknande. Och nu kör vi Brain Time alltså, okej.
Hi everyone. We all have seen at least one movie or series about daring robberies. In the movies, thieves usually plan their heists.
Det var länge sedan jag såg såna här filmer när de rånade.
Of course, this rarely happens in real life. A lot of things can go wrong. And thieves, as a rule,
och kom ihåg hörni, bli inte en jarring som alla de här som håller på och rånar och allt sånt där. Bli inte det, då kommer inte jag tycka om er. Okej, ni vill att jag ska tycka om er, eller?
End up in prison. But sometimes their brilliant plans do work, and today we will tell you all about them. Let's get it on.
Ja, det här är intressant. Det är väldigt intressant. Det är därför vi kollar på det, för att lära oss någonting. Feed your brain.
$1 million pharmacy robbery.
Oj.
Pharmacies are one of the most
Pharmacy
favorite
apotek,
places
alltså.
for both beginner and experienced robbers. Usually, the reason for this is rare and expensive drugs that can be resold at a triple price on the black market. And these criminals are well aware of this. Thanks to their caution and ingenuity, they managed to hit a jackpot when robbing a pharmacy. On the early morning of December 31st, 2015, two large masked men broke into one of the pharmacies in the Texas city of Euless through the window. They successfully bypassed the motion sensors and found the safe storing expensive drugs.
De tog alltså sig igenom fönstret och lyckades ta sig förbi larmsystem, alltså motion sensor, när man känner av att någon är där och det blir ett larm. De lyckades alltså ta sig förbi det och kan bara plocka allting här, för att ingen, jag tror det var på nyårsafton och sånt där. Sjukt.
The criminals seemed to know the area quite well and knew where the sensors were located. That's how they managed to spend more than 2 hours inside.
De var mer än 2 timmar.
One of the robbers began to drill the safe using special cough syrup to extinguish sparks.
Det här är som en riktig film liksom.
By the way, the safe was purchased by the pharmacy owner shortly before the incident with the purpose of protection against robbery. Obviously it...
Det här nu pausar jag jätteofta. Det där, vad heter det? Skåpet, säkerhetsskåpet, vad heter det? Jag tappar jämt bort orden. De köpte i alla fall den här för att hindra eventuella rån, försök och grejer rån. Och det funkade ju jättebra.
Didn't help. In the end,
Kassaskåp heter det.
Managed to escape with medicines worth about $1 million.
$1 million kostade allting typ.
They had break-ins before, but not one of them was so carefully planned. According to the information from the media, the criminals were never caught.
Oj, enligt media, de som gjorde rånet har inte blivit tagna än. Apple Store robbery. Oj.
The American tech giant Apple is known for always being ahead of the competition in terms of sales. New products released by this company have always prompted competitors to create something equally cool and thus stimulated the growth of the entire industry. Well, since Apple is so cool, their offices must be equipped with some incredibly sophisticated anti-theft systems, right? That would be the logical thing to do for a brand that came up with so many different anti-hacking tools. Turns out, this is not the case. A couple of years ago, these 4 guys managed to steal several laptops and phones from an Apple store.
Jag trodde det var App Store. Jag trodde det var App Store inne på mobilen. Men de rånade en Apple Store i verkligheten.
In broad daylight. Moreover, it happened in California, where the head office of the company is located. You can see in the video how the robbers grabbed the laptops from the table while other shoppers simply stood by with their mouths wide open. No one's trying to stop these guys. No fancy alarm system is
det är
triggered.
sjukt
It
hur
took
lätt
the
det var.
thieves about 30 seconds to finish their job. In the end, all 4 offenders managed to escape from the scene of the crime with gadgets worth almost $30,000.
Oj.
Thankfully, shortly after the incident, local police detained the suspects. Turns out they were responsible for a series of similar thefts in other American Apple stores.
Okej, de blev tagna sen och de har tydligen gjort det på flera ställen på Apple Store.
ATM explosion. Do you think it's easy to break open an ATM? It's actually not. There were instances when criminals stole the entire ATMs and tried to open them for several hours in a row without any success. The biggest challenge is, of course, opening the safe, especially if it has to be done right at the crime scene, and not after transporting the machine to some secure location. Perhaps the most effective way is to blast the ATM, but it requires very serious skill.
Men alltså om man spränger den, kan inte pengar och sånt förstöras då, eller? Tänker jag. Jävlar vad rädd jag blev.
One small miscalculation and the devices will either
Jag trodde
remain
det skulle
intact
smälla
or the
direkt.
cash inside it will be torn to pieces. In addition, most ATMs have special temperature sensors, which immediately warn the private security company. To prevent this, experienced criminals use gas explosions that do not raise the temperature of the safe. In any case, the criminals in this video worked so fast that the guard would not have time to catch them, even if they really wanted to. It took the gang only 1 minute to rob this ATM.
Oj,
By the way,
jäklar.
in recent years, ATM robberies have become one of the
En
most
minut, det
common
gick hur
types
snabbt
of
som helst.
crimes in the world. Why can't banks come up with more reliable protection for their ATMs? According to experts, upgrading the machines costs so much money that it makes more financial sense to accept some possible losses from robberies. Therefore, we'll never get rid of these kinds of robberies. Stealing an ATM with a digger. Some criminals are skillful enough to even steal entire ATMs. A group of robbers from Northern Ireland decided to steal a digger to tear an ATM out of the wall of a gas station. During this robbery, which happened in the city of Dungiven, the criminals stole the ATM and then put it in a van, which was also stolen, of course. In order to place the stolen ATM inside, the criminals cut off the roof of the van. Pay attention to how skillfully one of the thieves handles the bucket. He loads the ATM right into the van with one easy movement. The most interesting thing is that for the last year, several similar crimes occurred in the country. We can only hope that criminals from other countries will not be inspired by an Irish gang of creative robbers.
De har tydligen gjort det flera gånger i Irland också.
Is it possible to steal a car that costs more than $100,000? You'll probably say yes, but it won't be easy. Now look at this video. It was recorded by a smart doorbell installed in a house in the British city of Borehamwood. The video shows how 2 criminals bypass the security system of an expensive car in less than 1 minute, then open it and drive off as if nothing had happened.
Jag fattar inte. Hur då? Hur då?
By the way, it was the owner of the stolen car who posted the video online. He was shocked how such an expensive car can be so poorly protected. And
ja, jäklar. Så hur snabbt det gick. Gick han fram och typ så här. Jag vet fan vad han gjorde.
Did the robbers manage to pull this off?
Han tar fram någonting.
It wasn't that hard. All Tesla cars are equipped with a special passive entry function. This means that the receiver installed inside constantly picks up the electronic key signal of the car owner. He doesn't even need to press any buttons. The car unlocks as soon as the electronic key is nearby.
Okej, så då måste han hålla upp någonting som gör att det känner av som att nyckeln är närmare än vad den är och då gör att den upplås.
Probably thought that the criminals simply reproduced the signal of such a key. Not really. In fact, they simply knew that most drivers store car keys near the front door.
Precis.
So they approached the door, then one of them used a transceiver with a signal amplifier to relay and amplify the key signal, and the doors of the Tesla opened. If the key were in the house, this trick would not work. But in this case, the plan of the
Men
criminals
vad gör de sen när de har bilen? Utan nyckel.
Smoothly.
De kan säkert någonting.
TV underdress. We bet you haven't seen something like this before. When it was clear that no one was looking at her, this woman calmly picked up a plasma TV and hid it under her magnificent dress. How she managed to move around freely with this load is a big mystery to us.
Hon tog en
Or
TV
maybe the
in
TV
under
fell
sin
off from
klänning.
under her skirt somewhere on the way. We'll never know. Skirt with jewels. Turns out this type of theft happens more often than you expect. Here is another similar story. While the assistants of this criminal are distracting the jewelry store consultant, the woman is stealing the expensive jewelry.
Men
At some point,
hur
she
kan man
simply
inte se det där?
picks
Hur?
up a whole tray with jewelry and hides the contents under her skirt. According to some estimates, she stole jewelry worth almost $60,000. Brazilian Central Bank. Carefully planned bank thefts happen not only in the movies. For example, in August 2005, a group of experienced Brazilian criminals managed to steal nearly $70 million from the Central Bank of Brazil in Fortaleza. They stole so many bills that their total weight reached 3.5 tons. And the height of the stacks reached 33 meters. The criminals broke into the bank on the weekend when it was closed. However, the preparations took several months. In the spring of the same year, they rented a house near the bank, from where they began to dig in 80
Ja,
meters.
den här känner man igen alltså. Man gräver sig från ett hus till en bank eller fängelse
The
av vad
fact
som
that
helst.
the local soil was soft only helped them. The criminals also possessed knowledge in engineering, electronics, and hydrology. Also, they were helped by someone who worked in that bank. In order not to raise suspicions among the neighbors, the criminals put up a sign indicating it was a landscaping company selling artificial grass. It was necessary to somehow explain the van loads of soil removed daily.
De måste gjort en film om det här, antar jag.
After they finished digging the tunnel, which, according to experts, turned out to be a real work of art, the criminals
Ja, men det
had
här, jag har hört den här tidigare. Den har varit en, alltså, ja, tunneln var riktigt bra med balkar och
to
skit.
get to the bank vault. The gang had to break through more than 1 meter of steel-reinforced concrete to enter the vault. In order to get inside, the criminals used equipment for cutting ceramics, electric saws with diamond blades, and jackhammers. The operation, which lasted about 7 hours, went flawlessly. Not a
7 timmar höll de på och det gick som smort.
single alarm got set off. The theft was discovered only on the 8th of August. By that time, the criminals already fled in an unknown direction. They had almost 2 days to escape. Over many years of judicial investigations of the planning, complicity, and implementation of the crime, 36 people were convicted. But so far, only 27 have been caught. Most of the stolen money is still missing.
Oj, mesta pengarna är fortfarande borta.
One of the most daring robberies in history happened in the UK in 2015. It was made by a group of elderly men who had drilled the concrete wall of the Hatton Garden safe deposit, which stored cash and jewelry. To enter the depository, the criminals drilled a giant hole in a 50-centimeter concrete wall using an industrial-grade drill.
Jäklar vad sjukt. Hur fan, ja.
They entered the premises from a nearby elevator shaft. The value of the stolen things amounted to about 14 million pounds.
Jävlar,
That is
14 miljoner
more than
pund!
18 million
Jag vet att det inte sägs jättemycket. Det här är jävligt intressant tycker jag. Jag tycker det är skitkul att kolla på. Det är så jävla intressant där.
Interestingly enough, the crime was committed on April 2nd, in the midst of Easter. This date was chosen for a good reason. During this period, all financial institutions in the UK are on these so-called bank holidays. Even though the robbery plan turned out to be truly ingenious, the criminals couldn't escape from justice. As experienced robbers said later, the gang did not have the knowledge and ingenuity to cover their tracks. After the crime was committed, they all continued to communicate with each other and did not monitor their mobile phones. Because of this, they were caught quickly. By the way.
Okej. De blev tagna efteråt för att de fortsatte leva livet som vanligt egentligen. Och pratade med varandra i telefon. Och pratade de säkert om det här på något sätt.
They even shot a full-length film and a mini-series about the Hatton Garden robbery. That's it for today, and see you soon.
Riktigt bra video också. Shoutout till honom. Big Belly Brain Time! Du får en like utav mig. Det blir riktigt fet och bra video. Jag vet, jag pratar inte så mycket. Det är nu man ska ha kollat och reagerat med en annan kanske Olle för eller någonting. Så kan man prata lite grann tillsammans och sånt där. Men det gjorde inte vi idag. Utan vi kollar på den där själva. Superbra video. Alltså jäkligt intressant att se. Och jag ser den här just nu till exempel. 10 Dumbest Criminals Caught on Camera. Det hade varit jättekul att kolla på. Vill ni se den, då får ni skriva det i kommentarerna så det vet jag en like på det här såklart. Men det var dagens video. Hoppas ni tyckte att den var lika bra som jag tyckte att den var. För i sådana fall hoppas jag att ni får en superbra dag. Så syns vi i morgon igen. Ni får det så bra, så hörs vi sen.